What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated Mexican star, junior middleweight title contender, Sebastian Fundora, he fought this past weekend, and he fought against a guy who has had a comparison, okay? He's fought somebody that's, going to have a comparison for Sebastian Fundora to be compared to and measured to, okay? So with that said, Sebastian Fundora, exciting fighter. He's an anomaly within the sport of boxing, okay? Sebastian Fundora is 20 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 13 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 6'6", with an 80-inch arm reach, and he fights at 154 pounds, okay? So this past weekend, he fought against Carlos Ocampo, okay, who was 34 wins, 1 loss, no draws, okay? So Carlos Ocampo, he's fought a guy that Sebastian Fundora is looking to fight that's familiar with, okay? And what I mean by that is this, okay? Carlos Ocampo, he fought against undefeated, unified 3-belt welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is widely considered by many to be top 2, if not number 1 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr., who is 28 wins, no loss, no draw, 22 big wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age. He is 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. So Carlos Ocampo is now 34 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. He himself was knocked out 1 time in his career, 26 years of age, 5'10.5" with a 73-inch arm reach. Carlos Ocampo, he fought against Errol Spence Jr. back in June of 2018. And Errol Spence, he completely obliterated Carlos Ocampo in the first round of the fight. Why is this important to note? Because Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno, is looking to fight Errol Spence's close friend, fellow stablemate, who is with his trainer, was soon to be 2-time trainer of the year, well-renowned trainer, superstar, future Hall of Famer, and Derrick James, okay? That's none other than 3-time junior middleweight world champion, who currently is the undisputed junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, who is considered top 5 best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, and Jermell Charlo, 35 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 73-inch arm reach, okay? So with that said, Sebastian Fundora, he took on Carlos Ocampo, who went on a winning streak as of late. Since the Errol Spence loss, he went on a tear, picked up some wins, but not against too many notable names. So Sebastian Fundora, he went, and had a very tough fight with Carlos Ocampo. And again, like I said, Errol Spence, he completely obliterated Carlos Ocampo. And Sebastian Fundora, he did not, okay? Sebastian Fundora, he went the distance with Carlos Ocampo. Now, he got a unanimous decision, entertaining fight, but he went the decision with Carlos Ocampo, a guy in which, like I stated, Errol Spence completely obliterated. So Errol Spence, he responded to, Sebastian Fundora persistently calling out Jermell Charlo and saying that, that's the fight he wants, and Jermell Charlo can't continue to run and avoid him and duck him, okay? And so with that said, obviously there's another fighter that's looking to fight Jermell Charlo, and that's Tim Tszyu, okay, son of legend Costa Tszyu. So Tim Tszyu, he's also looking to fight Jermell Charlo, but he's the mandatory, right? So it looks like we're gonna get Tim Tszyu versus Jermell Charlo sometime in January, okay? And so with that said, Errol Spence wasn't impressed. And Errol Spence, he said, you having tough fights and tough battles and going to war with Sebastian Fundora, a guy he obliterated, so Errol Spence said, good night, in other words, letting you know that Sebastian Fundora, the towering inferno, is going to be struggling to fight and beat, and just not ready to fight and beat Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo is a special fighter, okay? There's not a lot of flares and flash and gimmicks to Jermell Charlo. He's more of a workman-like fighter. He can box, a very good pure boxer, okay? But also Jermell Charlo, he has power, okay? And he has a lot of power. And he's a pure boxer puncher, okay? Complete package, right? He's elusive enough to make his opponents miss. He's disciplined to keep his hands at bay. Is he perfect? No fighter is perfect, but he has great fundamentals, power, and great timing. And so, yes, Sebastian Fundora is 6 inches taller than Jermell Charlo. He has a 6-inch arm reach, 6 to 7 inch arm reach advantage over Jermell Charlo. And I'm impressed with Sebastian Fundora's ability to fight on the inside, being so tall, so rangy, you know, and going against guys that's, you know, it should be difficult for him to fight on the inside. You would think his advantage would be to fight on the outside, seeing as though he has such an arm reach and length advantage over all his, and height advantage over all his opponents. The game plan for him would be to keep you at bay, but that's not the plan. He likes to fight on the inside. He likes to make it tough, rugged, and he likes to have, you know, wars, like Errol Spence said. So Errol Spence, you know, he stated that, you know, if you struggling with Carlos Ocampo, there ain't no way you're gonna fight and beat Jermell Charlo. So he just chucked the deuces, the peace sign, peace, to let you know it's not gonna happen. Now, Sebastian Fundora, he had an impressive fight that really got the boxing world buzzing about his name and his potential. And that was his last fight before this fight with Carlos Ocampo, when he fought junior middleweight superstar title contender Erickson the Hammer Lubin, who was knocked out by Jermell Charlo in the first round of his fight. So Erickson Lubin was knocked out by Jermell Charlo in the first round of his fight, and Errol Spence knocked out Carlos Ocampo in the first round of their fight, right? And Sebastian Fundora, he fought against Erickson Lubin, and Erickson Lubin, oddly enough, who is 5'9.5" with a 74-inch arm reach, 75-inch arm reach, he was getting the best of Sebastian Fundora when he was fighting on the outside. When he decided to fight Sebastian Fundora on the inside is where he had tons and tons of problems, and Sebastian Fundora absolutely dismantled and rearranged Erickson the Hammer Lubin's face, okay? And Lubin is a great pure boxer, a very good pure boxer. Let me not say great. Very good pure boxer who's a southpaw and has tons and tons of power, and he's very athletic, you know, and high ring IQ. But in that fight, he made the decision to just fight in the pocket, you know, with Sebastian Fundora, and give up, which would seem like not to be an advantage, but advantage of boxing on the outside. When he was boxing on the outside and moving, Sebastian Fundora had a hard time finding Erickson Lubin. When Erickson Lubin decided to give up his height and fight Sebastian Fundora on the inside, well, that's when he found himself in trouble, and Sebastian Fundora completely rearranged his face, okay, and had Erickson Lubin's face looking like the Elephant Man at the end of that fight, right? And you know, so it was impressive, and it got a lot of people to buzzing, and you know, it got Sebastian Fundora's name really ringing bells, okay? And so it got that fight, got people to start to believe that, you know, Sebastian Fundora can actually beat Jermell Charlo, okay? And Jermell Charlo is the best of the best at 154. I don't think that Sebastian Fundora can beat Jermell Charlo. I think he's going to make it a tough, rough, rugged fight for Jermell Charlo because he's so big. He's such an anomaly. You know, it's going to take time for Jermell Charlo to adjust to Sebastian Fundora. But Jermell Charlo's been in there with Tony Harrison, who's 6'1" with a 76-inch arm reach, and I think is the best pure boxer, top 5 best pure boxers, just pure boxers in the sport of boxing. And the first fight, which was a loss on Jermell Charlo's record, and Tony Harrison pulled it off and beat Jermell Charlo, put the first blemish on his resume. And then he came back, he avenged that loss a year to the date, and he knocked out, you know, Tony Harrison in their fight. And then he had a fight with Brian Castano, who's shorter than he is, And in that fight, the first fight ended in a draw. That was an undisputed showdown. But he came back in the second fight and completely knocked out Brian Castano, okay? Impressively knocked out Brian Castano. So with that said, you know, Jermell Charlo makes great adjustments. So in the fight with Sebastian Fundora, if he's facing adversity and tough time and tough sledding, I think that Jermell Charlo will make the proper necessary adjustments to be able to combat that of what Sebastian Fundora is doing. And I think he makes better adjustments. Lubin hurt Sebastian Fundora, dropped Sebastian Fundora, you know, but Sebastian Fundora was smart enough and savvy enough to understand at a very young age when he was hurt bad to just take a knee, okay? Not to try to, you know, show his heart and to show, you know, his chismo, you know, and go out there and just keep continuing to fight, although he knows he's hurt. He let himself recover against Erickson Lubin, and he got the victory. So he does have a high ring IQ. I just think the abilities of Jermell Charlo is going to be way too much, and so does Errol Spence. So hopefully it happens soon, but it looks like, again, like I said, Jermell Charlo is going to have to fight the son of a legend, Costa Tszyu. He's going to have to fight Tim Tszyu first. And Tim Tszyu, he tweeted out and let the world know, listen, it ain't time for you to be fighting Sebastian Fundora. It's my time to get my mandatory opportunity to fight you. I need those belts. So Tim Tszyu, he already took step-aside money to allow the immediate rematch for Brian Castano and Jermell Charlo. There's no way he's going to do it again for Sebastian Fundora. When it came to him and Brian Castano, it was cool because he was the mandatory for Brian Castano's WBO title. It was cool because Castano was a champion. It was for Undisputed, which put Tim Tszyu in line to be able to fight for Undisputed immediately. So he accepted that. But for him to accept for Carlos Ocampo winner, you know, somebody just beat Carlos Ocampo, and he did beat Lubin, to leapfrog him, Tim Tszyu is not going to allow that. So expect to see Jermell Charlo and Tim Tszyu next, and possibly after that, Sebastian Fundora. And if Jermell Charlo beats Tim Tszyu and then beats Sebastian Fundora, he may as well go ahead and move up to 160. He completely cleaned out the division. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a comment in the comment section, let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.